Hello, this is Sunil Sundaraj with NJVarsity.rivals.com. I'm happy to be speaking with Brett Ressler, the new head coach of the Hackensack High School varsity football team. Coach Ressler, thank you so much for taking some time out to speak with me this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Sunil. Definitely excited to take some time and talk with you about the upcoming season and getting things rolling.
Yeah. Hey, congratulations, first of all, Coach Ressler. Said, what does this mean to you? It's truly, come full circle, a homecoming for you. Said you're, a graduate of Hackensack High School. I mean, what does this mean to you personally, Coach?
Well, again, full circle hits everything on the head. I grew up here. My father was a longtime coach. My brother played here. My sister ran and was an athlete for Hackensack as well. So this is home. I never, forgot where I came from. I've always kind of been, even though I spent the last decade coaching elsewhere, it's been fun to kind of come back and scrimmage here at Hackensack, and now to come back and be the next head coach is something that's just a great honor, and something that I definitely do not take lightly and definitely do not take for granted.
Yeah, no, definitely. Hey, Coach Ressler, can you walk me just through the process, as far as becoming the new head coach, said of the team, and just what that Comets jersey, means, what that represents to you, Coach, into this to this program.
Well, as far as the process goes, it's kind of interesting how things work out. I was very happy with where I was coaching and teaching at, but when I saw this opportunity come about, it was something that obviously, you always have hopes and dreams of maybe possibly coaching at your alma mater one day. Yeah. And obviously Benji really did an absolutely tremendous job here for the Comets these last, I believe, 8 or 9 years or so. Yeah. So I'm very appreciative of what he did, and wish him nothing but the best in his, future endeavors. But the process for me, and coming back and coaching at Hackensack, I mean, you're just talking a long-standing tradition. Having played here, grown up watching, Friday Night Lights, on First and Beach Street is something that, I've always kind of idolized and wished in the back of my mind, to come back and help develop that next generation of future athletes for Hackensack. The process itself, is something that was kind of interesting, knowing, Coach Whiting, obviously, who's the athletic director. I still call him, Coach Montesano. Mr. Montesano is the principal. A couple of the assistant principals were my coaches. My teachers are still in the building. So it was kind of cool to kind of go through that and kind of go down memory lane a little bit. But also, to kind of turn the page and get started on the new chapter. I mean, it's 2021 now, hopefully, knock on wood, COVID is behind us, along with a lot of other things. So just excited to get going and excited for the opportunity.
As we know, football is year-round, Coach. There's never a day off. I wanted to ask you, jumping into this now here with just the preparation for the upcoming 2021 season, what your impressions are of this, current, group, and just, again, getting ready, for September here.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, this is a great senior class. You're talking, some tremendous young men, kids like, Curtis Whiting, Michael Brandt, Shalik Hubbard, Hassan Bailey, Gio Payne, Walter King Jr., there's a lot of great kids out there that have been a part of this program for a long time. A lot of old school Hackensack names, families who have been a part of this community, especially, a kid like Curtis Whiting, who just verbally committed to, Army West Point. Hassan Bailey just got a nice look from Colby College up in Maine, and then we got kids like Michael Brandt, who's a tremendous defensive end, and obviously, edge rusher for us, Walter King too. So it's really neat to kind of have the opportunity to coach them. We've hit the ground running. I got approved, I want to say, on May 17th. I was here on May 18th, the very next day. Get them going in the weight room. Obviously, with the open period, the summer recess period opened for us in June. So we've been getting them on the field and seeing what we got and assessing players and taking things slow and making sure no one gets overlooked and everyone gets a fair shot to compete.
Yeah. Hey, you talked about, said these players, going, stepping up to that next level of college. I mean, the tradition of, Hackensack High School football and over the years, Coach, can you talk about that? And then, again, building that winning culture as well, here with the team.
Yeah, Hackensack tradition. I mean, think it was, they had 7 titles in 9 years at one point, going through the 90s into the early 2000s. So, and that's what I grew up watching. My brother was on a couple of those teams. I came in and had the opportunity to play in a state title game back in 04. So it's just that tradition is there. The kids understand it. You can't walk through this field house and not see it. Coach Mielo, who was the head coach before Coach Wimberly, did an excellent job of putting plaques up on the wall that outline league championships and conference championships and state titles. Yeah. So kids understand that tradition. And they understand when they put that blue and gold jersey on, they're not just representing obviously this year's team, but they're representing all the teams before them. They're representing the community, and they represent, their own families. And that's huge. And kids do not take that lightly. I've come to find out. They want to be that next group to add to the legacy of Hackensack football.
Yeah. You talked about Friday Night Lights, Coach. I mean, outstanding facilities there at Hackensack High School, especially with that football field. I mean, what is that going to be like? I mean, I said I know it's still a couple of months away, but just or less than 2 months away. But just I said taking that field, as the head coach, running onto that field with the team, and with that, I know it's I said I'll probably ask you that in September, but what that moment's going to be like for you, or has it enter into your mind just thinking about I said that when it does approach?
I think the one thing that last year has taught us. Right. And I don't like to, really look back into the past. Right. But I think it's important to understand and be appreciative of what last year really showed us. I mean, it wasn't last year for me, wasn't wins and losses. It was more so the opportunity to play. So when we take that field on Friday night, September 3rd, for my first game as the head coach for the Comets on, Tom Delatorre Field, it's going to bring goosebumps. It's going to be one of those once in a lifetime feelings for me. You always remember you remember your first game, you remember your last game. Obviously, you do all the special life events in between. But it's going to be quite a feeling for me to take that field. And again, hopefully fans are in the stands. That's what we're hearing. So it'd be great to kind of see an excited group, a packed house, so to speak, to support the team and support the Comets.
Yeah, it said, it takes a whole village, I said here, Coach, with the administration, athletic department, parents, said, can you talk about that as well? Said that, and then of course the importance of being a student athlete, as you referenced, kids, said committing to college now, and it's great to see, said, even going back to last year's class, said, to just see, again, how successful they were, said, finding, said a new college, new home. Can you talk about that as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you talked about what makes a program special and what makes a football team successful is, everyone's got to be aligned. You brought that, right? An alignment from top to bottom, from the upper administration into your school administration, into your coaching staff, and then down to the players. And that's obviously one of the first things that, we're trying to work on and make sure everyone understands our goals and vision for the program. And, assuming that obviously that's why I got the job, everyone right now has been very supportive from obviously our superintendent, Robert Sanchez, to our principal, Mr. Montesano, Jimmy Montesano, and then our athletic director, Gordon Whiting. And then now the teachers, and faculty and our support staff that are going to help, develop these students in the classroom, because that's huge. I mean, we are student athletes first. Yeah. Our players, have to understand that football one day will end, and it's what you're left with, those life lessons and your academics, that's going to kind of set you up for the rest of your life. And that's all football is. Really, the game of football is just a series of life lessons and things that you're going to be able to put together that's going to make you a better person, right? A better husband, a better friend, a better father, a better son, better daughter, whatever it may be. And, that's what football is all about. It's an educational classroom, an educational tool. And that's important for our kids to see that. And, they're working hard to live up to that. They know it's not just football. They have to, participate and do well in classes. And that's something we're going to strive to work on to keep us successful.
Yeah. Hey, I know you probably had a chance to look at, this year's schedule. What comes to your mind just in terms of, the level of competition that you guys are going to be going up against this year, Coach Ressler?
Well, there's no off weeks. I mean, yeah, we have bye week, but let's be honest. Like, this is big time football. It's Bergen County football. There is high expectations for Hackensack, just like all our opponents. Everyone's got high expectations. So it's up to us to prepare each and every week for our opponent. We don't look ahead. We take it week by week, day by day. Right now, what we're focusing on is we do have that saying here is, what's important now. What's important now is our summer install and our summer workouts and making sure our kids are in the best possible shape to compete on Friday nights and also healthy and yet humble. Again, you go down our schedule, you're looking at Kennedy, Clifton, Eastside, Old Tappan, Northern Highlands, State County Technical Institute, and then Ridgewood and Teaneck. All good, well-coached, tradition-rich programs. So that's going to be fun. That's what makes this the best job in the world is the attention to detail you have to put in, and it's a chess match. You have to prepare your team, and likewise your opponent's preparing theirs, and may the best team win. Right? There's always an opportunity to upset some people, and obviously there's always room for letdowns too along the way. It's how you keep moving forward and how you keep these kids focused and how you keep your program focused in the long run that will lead to success.
Hey, from your playing days, to this point, I wanted to ask you just the level of football, high school football, said around the state, but especially here in Bergen County, North Jersey. I mean, what you've seen over the years, Coach, as far as the talent and just, I said the level of play. I had to ask you about that.
I mean, the level of talent. I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that every Power 5 school and college, makes Bergen County a pit stop on their recruiting trail. This is a recruiting hotbed. From just for the last decades. Obviously you have some tremendous schools, the non-public schools in the area, but then you have some tremendous public schools that are putting quality kids into the next level. I think that's very important for everyone to realize that it doesn't really matter what level you play in college, whether it be a Division I, Division II, Division III. Like if you have an opportunity to put a helmet and shoulder pads on after high school, you are a special player. Yeah. And that says a lot, because now you don't have to look very far in the NFL to see that Division III guys are getting opportunities and Division II guys. And it's not just those 5-star guys that are, you're going to see on Sundays now. It's everyone. Obviously there's a lot of kids, that were recruited out of Hackensack, that are going to some great schools. So we're looking forward to just continuing that tradition. And I think these kids this year are excited to have the opportunity to compete for Hackensack and to be that next, I guess you could say, recruitable kid that plays at the next level.
Yeah. I just have a couple more. Can't thank you enough for the time, Coach Ressler. I said spent the last, 10 years at Mendham High School, 5 years as an assistant coach, 5 years as a head coach. And don't want to forget, you were also a physical health education teacher as well. I think, again, it goes back to what you were saying, getting the kids into the weight training, said room. I wanted to ask you just your time there, just, what it meant, said to spend those 10 years at Mendham High School.
Mendham High School is a special place. I thoroughly enjoyed every aspect of it. There's some great kids, great coaches, and great educators there. We had an opportunity. I was able to learn under Hall of Fame head coach Bill Carpluck. Yeah. You're talking close to 140 wins, 7 state finals trips for him. And he taught me a lot about what it means to be not just a football coach, but an educator. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity to have that, to have come from there. And again, those kids at Mendham are a special group. I wish them nothing but the best moving forward. I still live out in Morris County, so I have stopped by and said hello and talked to a few of them. And obviously, some of them have my cell phone number. So they every now and then I'll get a text here and there asking how things are going and vice versa. I probably will pop out and see a game if they play on a random Saturday to see how things are going. But Mendham High School is very appreciative of the opportunity they gave me back in 2011 as a young kid coming out of TCNJ. To coach there, coach football, run their weight room, coach wrestling as well, and then also be a member of their phys ed department and teaching driver's ed there. So,
Yeah.
Sure.
Coach Carpluck, I read a previous article, and of what he said about you, Coach Ressler. He said you were a 24/7 guy, willing to put the time in, works around the clock, has that football mentality, loves the game, and gives it 100%. All great attributes. So just had to ask you about that. I mean, just those are, of course, said,
Yeah.
comments there. Yeah.
That's I don't really. It's kind of humbling to hear that come from somebody like Coach Carpluck. I haven't heard that. I remember reading that article when it first came out a while back, but it's what it takes. Sometimes football now is a 24/7, 365 a day job. Yeah. But one thing I have learned, being a father now and a husband is it's about the work-life balance. And making sure that you leave time to spend time with the ones you love. So my wife, Jamie, my daughter, Reagan, my family, coming from obviously a coaching family, my father was a longtime coach. My uncles were longtime coaches. My cousins are coaches. So that's kind of cool. And it's just in my blood. I will say that everything I do is not something that, there's a method to my madness in a sense. Right. And it's something that just comes naturally. I don't know how to describe it. I take and learn from everyone that kind of I surround myself with, whether it be an assistant coach or even the players that have played for me. I've learned from each and every one of them. And I've been really grateful and blessed to kind of have that opportunity to do that, coming from Hackensack and coming from, I spent some time at Saddlebrook High School. I spent time at, obviously TCNJ and Princeton University, learning under their coaching staffs. And now, everything just, you take it one step at a time, and here's my new home in this journey called of life.
Yeah. I said, you mentioned TCNJ before, a legendary head coach, and Eric Hamilton there, Coach Ressler. And I said, also doing an internship, also at Princeton, as you said, and, a master's degree from Princeton University, I believe, in performance enhancement, injury prevention. I mean, I'm so fascinated by that, because you have all these different, skill sets, besides the coaching, pedigree. I had to ask you that, so that really, must benefit you when it comes to, of course, coaching here, working with other assistant coaches as well. And then you have the training staff as well, Coach.
Yeah. I mean, first and foremost, I always believe whatever sport it is, everything starts with your strength and conditioning, right? It's something that's your foundation for athletic play, and you can go and debate sports specific and this, that. But one thing I've always found is it's always your ability to work hard and give great effort. That usually is always going to yield great results. And it doesn't matter how you train kids in certain aspects, as long as you follow a certain methodology and you believe what you're coaching, and you convey that to the kids, you're going to ultimately, hopefully be on the right path to success. Again, had some great opportunities come my way. And again, I'm just a kid from Hackensack, New Jersey, that just takes it one day at a time. Yeah. Bide my time here at Hackensack, played football, wrestled, and had some great coaches here. And then obviously went to TCNJ, played for Coach Hamilton, got the opportunity to learn at Princeton University and intern there. And that brought me to Mendham High School for last year, and then a slew of educators there that forever molded and shaped me for this opportunity. Yeah. And this is home. This is home. I'm happy to be back in Hackensack. I got it behind me. Yeah. The players, the colors, the city. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, you probably answered before, but also the town of Hackensack, I don't want to forget as well. What that means as well. Here in Bergen County, one of the biggest towns, Bergen County, but it just to have that support as well from the community is so essential as well, Coach Ressler.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're talking some developing relationships and setting kids up with other community members for whether it be job placements or academic, opportunities. FDU is right down the road. Hackensack, University Medical Center is right there. So it's an awesome city. It's an awesome city. I believe it's 44,000 people now or something like that. County seat of Hackensack. You got the courthouse right down the road. lot going on,
Yeah.
a lot going on. But at the same time, you know, our kids understand that, and, you know, they want to represent Hackensack too. Well, you know, we have the H on our jerseys for a reason. And, you know, the H around town, you know, that means a lot.
Yeah. Final two. First one is for you personally. What makes the game of football when you played, so special, Coach, but also, here now as a head coach. What is it about the game of football? I mean, for you, some of the intangibles. It's something, some of the things that do stand out.
I'm sorry, can you say it again?
No, I was just saying when it comes to the game of football, like, when you played and then now, of course, coaching, what makes it so special, for you? I mean, what are some of the intangibles, just something that, that stands out to you about the game of football, Coach?
The game of football.
I know it's a hard question, but I just,
yeah, it's the game of football it means a lot. Like I said, it's something that teaches you more after it's finally over, and again, now coaching it and giving those life lessons to your players, and teaching them, how to basically just to keep moving, right? Keep moving forward, keep progressing. I'm big on PJ Fleck, who's the head coach at University of Minnesota. His saying is row the boat, right? And you just keep rowing. You put your back, if your back's up against the wall, you fight your way out of it. And that's, I think, an important mantra as you kind of go through life. You're not always going to have smooth seas and easy sailing, right? You're going to have to overcome some adversity. Last year, 2020 was a freakishly adverse year. It's all about teaching those players that, you rode through it. Now let's keep moving, right? Let's see what we're at. Let's keep putting a string of days together and keep getting after it as a group. And then when you finally turn around and look and you see what you've gone through, that's kind of what gives you that sense of appreciation in your life. I've been through some adverse times in a few areas and had some, tough times, but that's what makes those good times so well. And the game of football adds to that, and that I consider it the greatest job in the world, being a head football coach.
Yeah. I know, of course, talking to other players and coaches, they talk about that brotherhood, said that never leaves. I mean, even after you're finished, said playing, in high school, that continues, said for a long time to come. I wanted to ask you, Coach, so coming from that sports tree, I mean, said, in the family, when you're growing up, any other sports that you played? And then when you truly knew, look, football is my passion. This is something, said I'm good at and I can excel at. I just had to ask you about that.
Yeah. Like I said, my dad was a longtime track coach. Yeah. So it still officiates track meets around North Jersey. My sister is as well. My sister was an all-county athlete for Hackensack. My brother played, football for Hackensack, wrestling for Hackensack. And me, I kind of followed in those footsteps. I played football in the fall. I wrestled in the winter. I ran track in the spring. And I think the one thing that, being the son of a coach, I just always liked competition, and then I knew football kind of was my thing when, I don't know, I've always liked, I hate to say it, I've always liked hitting people. I've always liked physicality of it, that aggression of it. And that's why I also enjoyed wrestling and wrestling for Coach Stallone. Yeah. I love that opportunity to go out on the mat and showcase what you can do. There's no one to blame when you step on a wrestling mat. It's just you and your opponent. But football is the ultimate team sport, though. And I always liked teamwork. I always liked working together with people towards common goals. Because in football, 10 people can do everything right, but it takes one person to screw up their job, and that's it. So football is just something that always kind of just came naturally to me in a sense. I've always been an instinctive type of player and an instinctive type of coach thus far. And football is just kind of always kind of what stuck through it all.
Okay. Final question is, I think you're in a perfect spot to, offer advice to, younger, coaches. I mean, people who want to break into the coaching ranks and ultimately succeed one day and end up where you are at. I'm just wondering what your message is, to those younger people out there.
Message younger coach. I mean, I am a younger coach.
You have quite a bit of experience, Coach. I did.
Yeah, I asked some of the older players.
I had to ask you this.
I would say, just never stop learning.
Yeah.
Never stop learning. Never stop critiquing what you do. Never stop asking why. Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Why are we installing this that way? Why are we doing certain things? And just keep going on your quest to become a better coach. There's always ways and people that are around you that you can learn from. And not only, don't get lost in the title, right? You don't need the title of a prestigious program to be a good coach. Some of the best coaches I've been around actually, they're not by considered successful on wins and losses. They're not there, right? But they are some of the brightest people I've had the opportunity to learn from. And don't get lost in that title of, not being a head coach, or this guy's only at this school or that school, or, this division or that division. Some of the best coaches I've been around have been at all different levels. So just keep working and that's it, just work hard and keep meeting new people and learning from new people, and good things happen.
Yeah. I mean, it was laughing before is that sometimes the amount of success that you've had, and as you said, you're still a young coach, but that from where you started and now, to this point, I mean, what comes to your mind? I mean, just knowing that how much you've been able to, again, flourish here, Coach. I know there's still more, so that you want to do, but just, to be in this position, here in 2021.
I will say this: I've been, obviously blessed to be around some great people that I've had the opportunity to learn from, and gave me an opportunity. Bill Carpella gave me an opportunity. Jim Baglin, longtime Mendham basketball coach, gave me an opportunity. Here Hackensack has given me an opportunity in college, and the coaches that I played for and learned under, they gave me an opportunity to play and learn. Coach Hamilton being one of them. At Princeton University, Coach Galucci, their strength conditioning quarter, gave me an opportunity, and Coach Bramley, they gave me an opportunity. Who I still try and keep in touch with a lot of the people that have come across my life. And now I got a lot of unfinished business stuff. I'm not done. Got a long way to go. And my thing is, I believe Kobe Bryant said it, you don't rest in the middle, you rest at the end. And that's my mentality. Just keep getting after it, keep working hard. And then when my time is done, whenever that may be, then I'll reflect back and hopefully there's some things I can be proud of, and things that, my family can be proud of too.
Sounds good. All right, Coach, the floor is yours. If there's anything I've left out, I said if you want to add, you're more than welcome to do so.
No, I appreciate the time, and I appreciate all you do for, covering high school sports and other sports in the area for the community. You do an excellent job, and appreciate you having me on, and I look forward to working with you moving forward.
Okay. Thank you so much, Coach. A true honor and privilege. And, I said, wishing you continued success, of course, with the upcoming 2021 season.
Thanks. Have a good day.